We've all had those days where things just aren't going right. Starts with one issue and just keeps compounding. And if we don't take a tactical pause, we can't prevent it. Here we have a firefighter who can't get his chainsaw started, and he's assigned vertical ventilation. His partner's already heading up to the roof to sound, and his captain's standing there waiting for him. So he decides just to figure it out when he gets up there. And in his defense, a heads-up captain would have told him, hey, you probably should figure out what's wrong with your chainsaw before going up there, but I didn't do that. Probably not obvious in this footage, but I've already blown out my calf and I'm struggling to get up that ladder because we did umpteen calf raises that day, and at a cold start at 3:30 in the morning going up that driveway, I blew it out. So now that my firefighter's up on the roof, he still has the same problem. The chainsaw's kicking his ass. And if he wasn't getting flustered, he definitely is now. One other thing he hasn't done yet that I haven't noticed is in his haste, he hasn't put his gloves on. The only one of us that seems to have their act together is our sounder. He's doing a great job making sure that roof's safe while I'm in pain thinking about a second saw. Just about then, he gets the chainsaw started. Right about here, I'm wondering how I'm going to get the rest of the way up that roof because of my calf. The firefighter stopped to put on his gloves, and that gave me a chance to catch up. Eventually I did get up there, but I'm starting to think about light duty, how we're about to start days off in about 3 hours, and whether I can just muscle through it. But the point is, my head isn't in the game. This is dangerous work, and I need to be paying attention. I snap back when I see the firefighters turn around from what I believe would be the involved room. Turns out the roof had some sag and was feeling spongy, and they just didn't feel it was safe. You just gotta trust your guys. So they picked this spot closer to me. You'll see the Sawyer makes a plunge cut. That's a little divot right there from his initial plunge cut, and then he moves it over to the side and begins another cut. He makes his plunge cut, didn't work, moves it over, and he starts making a push cut, and then once he hits that rafter, starts coming back. Not being able to make that plunge cut was an indicator that the rafter was there. He didn't pay attention to that, and this is his top cut. Now on his bottom cut that he makes, he ends up almost standing on a great visual indicator, which is that vent pipe there, that there might be a rafter associated with it. Here you can see the rafter that pipe is tied to. Having something like this happen to one of us doesn't define your career by any means, or really your overall experience as a firefighter. It might be that a series of events have spiraled towards this result, which emphasizes the importance of taking a deep breath and collecting yourself. But let's not forget, this isn't about style points. We don't want heavy roofing material falling to the firefighters down below, and we want as much as possible of a solid roof below us. Oh, and I also have to own that's me standing around with my pass alert going off. Look, Ma, my calf made the news. It's also useful to use some landmark indicators on your approach, like that satellite dish and that vent pipe if you have fire blown out that window. From above, you can see we were just off center. Also, two pipes that are similar and close may indicate two units with a wall in between. For the eagle eyes, on either side of that window there's a cable going up to the roof. We didn't cut this hole, Evans did, but they put it right in between those cables. Here's three different types of pipes that can speak to what's below. On the left, a water heater vent. In the middle, a vent for the stove. And on the right, an open pipe that leads to the kitchen sink. To emphasize the point that not all vent pipes go up and are on a rafter, here's a wall heater. It's actually right in between the rafters because of how the wall heater sits. This is all good information that you can get from somebody who has strong background in construction. I highly encourage you to look at what these mean for you, to be able to read a roof when you're up on top of it and understand what you have below you. And that concludes this week's Fire Minute. I hope you enjoyed.
We're making access to the roof right now. You have to cut a hole. Coordinate with Division 2. Are you using Truck 11 or can I use them for something else?